With the serum flowing through my veins, I march into the shard. Once I step into the lab, I see her in the middle of the room, back turned to me. "Hello, Denise." She doesn't say anything. I walk a little closer and see I've caught her wrist deep in something's abdomen. She holds up a finger as if to say, "Just a minute," and plunges the other arm in just a little further. I try to ignore the squelching as I wait for her to respond to me. I look around the lab, rubbing the spot on my arm where the methods injected me. They said I couldn't enter the shard without this shot. It's still really sore. Not a great start for me trying to live here. "Ah, Frida!" Denise walks up to me. "I was wondering when you'd stop by and see me. Could you be a dear and hold the spleen for me?" I can't help but laugh. "Sure. You haven't changed much, have you?" "Oh, I wouldn't put it that way." She gestures at the bandages on her torso and back. "Not quite there yet, but I've been working on some improvements. I've got an extra tentacle or two lying around if you'd like to." "I'm good. Thanks." "So, are you saying you knew I was here?" "Yes," she flips a hand dismissively. "You needed your rest, Frida. I figured you'd come to me when... Then I expect the methods also informed you I've spent the entire day with Sven. You know, your son. Your very young child." She seems genuinely surprised. "Oh, sure. Sven. He's a bit needy, isn't he? Thank you for that. As you can see, I've got a lot of work going on around here." She gestures around. "I'd love to think, though, that you came to lend a hand. Perhaps literally?" "I think you're missing the point, Denise. Do you know he told me it's been over a week since you've even seen him?" I realize I'm shaking the spleen at her. "Oh, Frida, that is rich coming from you. First of all, he's invited to the lab, and he doesn't want to be a subject. It's not like I don't offer. Look, I even have a little lab coat for him." She picks up a little white lab coat. "See? It's cute." "But more importantly, tell me, Frida, where is your daughter now?" The wind's knocked out of me in this one blow. Even if I had a response, I physically cannot speak. No reason I can come up with that is defensible. I'd assumed she was safe at the castle, but now, being asked, I suddenly realize I have no idea if that's even still the case. And beyond that, I have no way of tracing a castle that moves, and I kept no contacts in the castle who would inform me, but Denise has contacts. I spiral into what her question could mean. Does she know her to be somewhere else? "And how old is she again?" Denise asks as she flips her goggles back down and turns back to her table, leaving me with my thoughts. After a few seconds, Denise pokes something squishy that squeals. "I need your help," I say. "We always got along before, Frida. No reason we can't now." I say, "Okay, here it is. I came here because I've had it in my mind for a while that this shard, this world, could be the start of a new life. Maybe I could even help you with your work here. I could help take care of Sven, too, and he'd have someone close to his age to play with again." "Oh, no, Frida. You can't stay here. You'd get horribly sick. I mean, obviously the methods gave you the shot this time, so you could be here now, but yeah, they didn't really explain that to me. So what would happen if I didn't get the shot? How horribly sick are we talking here? Could I get over it? Or are you getting these shots all the time? Honestly, if Wolfram isn't coming here, I'd be willing to do it. Frida. If you can get used to a rapid overgrowth of your cells all over and eventually protruding out of your body until they quickly overtake you and you die, you'd be my guest. But Wolfram doesn't come here because he's a negative genasi. And you're negative too. Honestly, as a void genasi, you'd probably be more peachy in a black hole. And as for me, a radiance genasi, I can withstand the positive forces of this plane." Kind of deflated by her answer, and I say, "Denise, I realize you've made your peace with the way Wormwood is all going. And you've carved out this spot for yourself in this world, but I can't. And now, I'm not trying to get into a discussion on morality." "Morality," she says. "I should have written to Wolfram immediately once you stepped foot here. And here I am, having a little chat. Have you thought about that, Frida Kali? The hairs on the back of my neck bristle. Of course, all I can think of is, how does she know that name? Who else knows? Are the moths in danger? But instead, I ask, and why didn't you write to Wolfram? Well, she says, I can't really call you out on wanting to leave and have control over your own life. I found my own way to do just the same, didn't I? You know, your daughter, though, she's not negative. She's water and air. She'd be fine. If you could figure out a way to get her here, who's to say how it happened? I think to myself, leave her in the castle, protected for now by the potential of being a conduit, or bring her here only to abandon her again where I know she'll be neglected? I refuse to believe these are the only options. I say, call it sentimental, Denise, but I'm looking for a place for us to be together. There's got to be another place Wolfram doesn't have power over, a single other place. You know, Denise says, other than here, I do know one other place Wolfram avoids. He's afraid of it even, but you should be too. What? What is it? Where is it? Denise rolls her eyes. So Wolfram's become obsessed with this, this thing. It's been consuming his thoughts lately. Honestly, it's probably half the reason I'm left to my own devices here. Something about the bottom of the world? I have no idea. He just gets fixated on things, the potential of a new consort one day, a different one the next, now this new threat. I don't know. But for now, what? Frida, where are you going? I hope you know you can't go there. Come on, at least give me my spleen back. Sven is right where I left him, but the mephits are gone, and so is my flamethrower. Those thieving fucks. I walk up to Sven. Hey Sven, I'm so sorry how long that took. I sit down next to him. So, I think you know this, but Todd and we're not going to be able to stay here. He looks down. I want to, but I'm trying to find a place for Sabrina and I, and it can't be here. But you're safe here. No response. I just have to go find Todd, and then we'll be going. I'm very glad we got to spend time together today, Sven. I hold him in a hug for a minute. As I let go and stand up, he looks up at me, hits me with the big sad eyes. He points at himself and does a little circle gesture with his pointer finger and motions at me. I don't think you can come with me, Sven. It looks like I've broken him. Like I've said the absolute most hurtful thing I ever could have. This is not working. It's so hard to say goodbye. I couldn't even explain it to my own daughter when I had to leave. I couldn't even say goodbye to her. Wherever she is right now, whatever she's thinking, all she knows is that I left her. I hold out my hand. Okay, new plan, Sven. We don't need to worry about Todd. He'll catch up with us. Let's go.
Покайся богам, пацан, ведь во всем виноват ты сам. Похоже, ты влип, пацан, и расхлебывать будешь сам. И расхлебывать будешь сам. Боги не услышат твоих слов. Их защиты не ищи ты.
So you were talking about how numbers could mean anything, and I don't know why, but I can't get out of my head now my favourite piece of terrible dialogue from a Kingdom Hearts game. It's from Kingdom Hearts 3. A heart can live anywhere, even in data.
I mean, can you dispute that, Laura?
I'm sorry.
I can't I don't have evidence that
sorry.
a heart can't live in data. I can't disprove a heart living in data.
I'm sorry, but I hate that. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
It is terrible, and it's why I love it.
The only reason it's so bad is it exists solely to justify the worst Kingdom Hearts game, which is the mobile game that they had to write a story around and be like, this is important to everything. You have to buy it.
Indeed, it's terrible, but the only reason it's good is when I was rewatching Star Trek TNG, it brought on a whole new meaning. I was like, a heart can live anywhere, even in data.
Aww. Okay, I like it now.
I would love to talk shit about Kingdom Hearts, but way too much of my career has been influenced by that game for me to have any legs to stand on. It would be like very self-defeating to talk a bunch of yay about the series that a lot of my shit's based on. So who's owned? It's me.
Is this why we've been opening up the door to darkness this whole time?
You can simultaneously know that something is terrible and also kind of love it. You both
Spice
can
World.
be true.
Spice World is my that. And Batman and Robin.
Oh, Spice World is that.
Do you guys want to play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, because you said it's gonna be bonkers, and I'm tired.
Austin, I want to play Dungeons and Dragons. You told me to down an energy drink, and I did, and I'm ready for Dungeons and Dragons now.
No, I'm emotionally drained, so...
Oh, look, now look what you've done.
So today we're just gonna go make up more animals, right?
Austin, did you tell me to get this energy for D&D, and now I'm not allowed to play D&D? Yeah, that's disappointing.
We'll get there in like 10 minutes, I promise. But we last left this adventure.
Oh my god.
The rest of the party was entering the shard or the positive energy plane that is sticking out of this bay here. And it's an overwhelming sight. I've described it a couple times. It's this blinding white light that's not hot. It doesn't hurt your eyes to look into. It's just this enveloping positive feeling. All of you have full health. You're feeling great as you step into Denise Wolfram's lab.
Hot dog.
This is not a pre-apocalyptic technology in here. So this isn't like a nice Apple or Microsoft clean room. This is a proper like medieval alchemist's lab. The walls The walls are brick. The tables are marble. There's like chains for holding up structures and subjects.
No, I hate
There's
it.
like there's bubbling cauldrons and beakers and all kinds of fluids in jars. You don't even recognize half the things in here.
I'm not a cat person this season, but I really just want to knock everything off all the counters.
So you all step into this lab, which has been built in this piece of the positive energy plane in the modern day. So the Mephits brought in the stones. The Mephits set up the operating tables. But there's like a couple in here who are like helping, but they like fly away to give their boss some privacy. And in this lab, working on something, you see Denise Wolfram.
Hi.
Denise Wolfram is a Radiance Genasi. Radiance is positive and fire. So she is perfectly safe inside the positive energy plane, as all are you, because you currently are inoculated with her blood. But that is why she suffers no ill effects from the energy, which is normally eventually fatal to people who come into contact with too much of it. She is in a white lab coat, which is heavily stained. Her hair is very greasy. She has dark skin and like really natural curly hair that's just kind of like tied back out of her way. But it's clear that like hygiene and personal appearance are not really high up on her priority list. She is covered in, different stuff, oil, probably, maybe dried blood. You can't tell. She is like wrist deep in some kind of experiment as you walk in. She turns and looks at you and says, more test subjects, as you step into her lab.
No.
Unfortunately,
Wrong.
we're not here for experiments, although I would be interested to know what is all of this paraphernalia, for lack of a better term.
Paraphernalia, that's a big word for a little dwarf. How you doing, guy? She kind of slinks over to you as you start talking Bramwell, and you see, although she is a Genasi, which is a bit of, basically human, except for just a little bit slightly different bone structure, she has grafted numerous animal parts onto her body. She has what's clearly like a long monkey's tail. She has, coming from one sleeve, like an octopus tentacle next to her arm as an additional like way to grab things. On her shoulder opposite that arm, she has like a stalk with an eyeball on it that's like looking around so she can see multiple things at once. She's clearly not shy about experimenting on live subjects. I mean, you've already seen what she did with the animals in the hotel.
I mean, the rat hog was cute.
You like my work? You're a big fan? You want me to sign something? She pulls herself over to you with tentacle and tail and gets up in your face.
How did that mercury elemental get such a cool vibe? He was like a real cool dude.
A cool dude? I can't take credit for the elementals. That they come how they come, you know?
Oh, so I was just wondering if I don't know. I don't know where you get them.
Where you get them?
I don't know where elementals really come from.
Oh, it's quite a story. Quite a story. You have to go back so far in history. You know, I don't know. I charge quite a lot for a class, dear. Are you at the 101 level, I presume?
If I mix this yellow bottle with the stuff in this blue bottle,
please don't touch. No
will
touch.
It turn green?
She wraps a tentacle around your wrist as you reach out for a flask and holds you up.
Okay, I won't touch. I just thought it looked like fun.
You're so light. She like a baby, holding a baby by the arm and picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, just testing your weight.
I'm small. I'm little.
Well, you've got these powerful arms though. From your bow, I presume. I see the bow you've got here. You got some draw on these things, but you're nearly wasting away at the tummy area.
Well, sometimes you don't get enough to eat. And that's it. That's the end. That's all.
Yeah, I've grown beyond the need for traditional nutrition. I have a kind of slime paste, a nutrient paste. It's no flavor. Flavor gets in the way of my work.
Oh no, I lack flavor.
What is your work?
I'm something of a biologist, I guess you could say. And she's wiggles her extra appendages at you.
Yeah.
She says, I specialize in combining things.
For what end? Is there an end goal to all this you're looking to achieve, or is this just experiment for the sake of experiment?
Well, we're living in the era of combination, are we not? Do you not find it inspiring?
I suppose, but you are not the lady of Wormwood, so to speak. So I would assume there might be a specific task you might be out here for, or has the God King just left you to your desires?
He wants things, I want things, you make a deal. The other wives apparently are too good to have transactional relationships. It's not hard. It goes back as far as history does. You let an old man bounce around on you and you get what you want. It's fine.
I'm going to roll insight, 22.
Listen, I mean, it's not a bad strategy.
Yeah, so 22. She's being brutally honest. She didn't dislike any of the other consorts, but she thinks that they have this attitude where they're too good to trade having a child of a bad person for a life of luxury, and she's not too good for it, and she thinks it's childish to think you are.
Do you know a lot about what happened to the other wives? I've always thought that was fascinating court gossip.
Yeah, I think Denise draws back at this point, quickly on a tail and a tentacle, and goes back over to a workbench and says, "I think that falls under things that are none of your business."
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little nosy.
I don't think the king would appreciate gossiping about such subjects.
Look at how long my snout is. I'm a little nosy.
You think I could take a little sample?
Of my snout?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by a sample? What do you mean by little? And what do you mean by my snout?
I mean, don't you think it'd look cute on maybe a badger to have a little lizard snout?
Yes, that would be a cute theoretical thing, but I need my snout for a living.
Can I look around the room for any evidence of Sabrina's mother?
Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, investigation.
5.
I got a 14 on that investigation roll.
I'm gonna go for it. No, I rolled a 4. I did not help.
Yeah, so I got a 4, a 5, and a 14, so the party does fail. I think you look around and it's just all inscrutable science stuff. All of you are like post-apocalyptic, like wasteland scavengers. You don't know what a Bunsen burner is. None of this means anything to you. So if you want information about Frida, Claire's mother, you're gonna have to ask about it or get her to open up in a way that, besides just say, "Tell me the information, please. Please exposit." That's not gonna work.
Do you leave this lab much?
Oh no, I'm very busy. I have a whole new project. I'm very excited.
What's your new project?
Oh, I don't know if you'd understand. If you love your snout too much to give it up, then how can you possibly appreciate the beauty of what I'm trying to do here?
Would you cut off your... You don't have a snout.
Absolutely. She
What?
doesn't even hesitate. She absolutely would mutilate herself if she thought it would be interesting.
Well, I respect that, but it's not for me.
These things you create, do you consider them like children?
Which things? You mean the chimeras?
Yes.
No, that was for my husband. He wanted a kind of elite, powerful creature for his, his going-ons and so forth. Has he deployed them yet?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's so fun.
Love what?
I call it the Denisian Chimera, named after myself, of course. Some would say it's my masterpiece.
What's its deal?
So you know a normal chimera, right?
Yeah.
It's like dragon, goat, snake, lion.
Uh-huh.
The Denisian chimera is hippopotamus, mosquito, cassowary,
No.
roundworm.
Oh, I only liked a couple of those options.
But here's the thing, right? Everyone loves the flame breath. We get it. We've all seen the flame breath. We're very impressed. But with the elementals, I've been looking for something to give it that extra, mwah, that extra pop, the sizzle, the zazz. And I tried all the elements, lead, very poisonous. Tried iron, very heavy. None of it was really giving me what I wanted. And then I discovered, oh my God, it's so obvious in hindsight, but no one's ever thought of it before. Have you heard of phosphorus?
No.
Oh my God, white phosphorus. It's so good. And they breathe it. It's great.
What does it do?
It's like poison and fire together. It's very bad. Well, for anything with flesh, really.
Wow.
And what would counteract that? Surely it has a weakness?
Oh, no. You die in exquisite agony. Absolutely.
We saw Sven earlier.
Yeah, her entire demeanor changes. She was thinking about the Demesian Chimera and how much she very much loves this thing she's created and given to Wolfram. And then you mentioned her son, and she's like, you completely let the air out of her sails. And she's like, yeah, how is he? Was it Mahjong Go this week?
It's a snuggle chess, actually. He was looking for someone to play a game with.
Yeah, I employ a lot of methods for that. They're out there.
Yeah, I don't think they stop by and see him very much.
They just drink beers in the restaurant.
The methods have a lot of duties. They have to clean, they have to cook, they have to bring me samples, they have to deal with trespassers, they have to receive guests. It's,
Do you receive a lot of guests here?
No. The resort's been closed down for many years, but we get an occasional visitor for the castle. The abbot stopped by recently.
Oh, and what did that old chap want?
I'm trying. Yeah, I don't think she even remembers or cares. She says like, something about the halflings and the crystals and whatever. I don't care. That's just my husband's business. He's up to his old tricks again.
Have you done a lot of experiments on people?
Maybe I misjudged you. You do know about my new experiment, huh?
I've heard some whispers on the wind, but I don't know anything else.
Maybe maybe I finally found somebody who shares some of my interests. You keep in the back of your mind a possible snout transplant, all right? Let's just keep those options open.
I'll make no promises. But I'm not gonna say no, because not right now. I'm not gonna say no, but I'm gonna say no later. I want my snout. Quit coming from a snout.
I think she turns to Khorton, who hasn't said anything basically since he showed up, and she's like, "What about you? I see you've already had a snout transplant."
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it the kind of professional job you seem to be capable of, but yes, I've had a little work done.
You might make the perfect test subject for my little experiments here. What do you say? You interested?
I don't know. Might need something in exchange for that.
Of course, yes. If anybody, I'm the only one in Wormwood who seems to understand how fucking transactions work.
Okay. What's the procedure?
Well, you see, I've been spending all these years making my husband his perfect chimera, and that was a lot of fun. But these animals, there's only so much you can do, right? You can get claws and teeth and horns and add fire and, yes, phosphorus, my favorite. But they're not sapient, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The real Holy Grail, the real magnum opus, which is not turning lead into gold, which is very easy with magic, actually. So that's apprentice shit. The real dream is the creation of new sapient life, a new life form, like something previously only the gods could do. But I'm going to do it right here in this little lab.
To me.
I hope so.
Are you gonna give him a new snout?
Yeah, of course. You can have a snout, you can have a tail, you can have wings, you can have a little second mouth in his tummy area, whatever he wants.
I thought you were gonna say a little hat.
Oh, I don't know about biological hats, but I will write that down. She writes that down.
I'm telling you, think about it. Hats that are also birds.
Now, when you say second mouth in my tummy area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically, let me spell this out explicitly. What Denise wants to do is to create an all-new species, and this isn't
right.
This isn't unheard of in the history of Dice Funk. Famously, we made the Bozogs. I made the Solitaire for season 5. We've had new non-Dungeons & Dragons species before, but those were all DM decisions. This is a player decision to create a new species for our shared universe going forward. And they're really the only cost is basically your character. Because she will be using you to do that experiment on. But in exchange, you'll get whatever you want. She wants to do this experiment. She needs a willing test subject. But if you do that, you'll be on her good side, and she'll tell you whatever she wants, whatever you want to know. And she's the smartest person in the entire country and can answer almost any question you have about the universe.
And it would play really well into like a religious myth of transformation, and
it would.
Oh,
there's a lot. There's definitely a version of this where like the religious figure comes back transformed after his vision, and it's like a whole thing. That's a very popular motif in religion. It's also an opportunity to like have a whole new life away from that and just be like, yeah, the Corton ascended to the next realm. He's gone. I'm a new guy. Don't have to worry about this anymore.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Yeah.
Or Stanley.
But that's kind of, I'm laying it out here out of character to be as clear as possible because I don't want you to accidentally destroy your character if that's not what you want. But you know how every week we finish an episode and then the Discord spends 6 days throwing questions at us, and there's like all these lore questions. She has all those answers. You can ask her anything if you do this, and all it will take is you to turn in your character sheet.
So you mean I have the power to have access to all of the knowledge that the people on the Discord want and can therefore deny it to them by never asking anything?
Oh, they'd be so mad.
Wow. Well, I mean, just put some ice cream on top and a cherry, you got my ass.
I guess the only other thing I will say is that then we do all have to sit here and workshop a whole new creature because it's going to be in every season. Well, not every, but it's going to be an option going forward, like the Bozogs and the Solitaire. This is just going to be a guy who exists from now on.
Yeah. But we don't have to. Do we have to do that in this immediate moment?
Oh, no, we can switch to Vindross or Clear.
Yeah, we should probably do that, and I can cook up some thoughts, and yeah.
Vindross. So last episode, you shot up too early. The positive energy ran out, and you couldn't join the rest of the party in the shard. But then you did say you were going to do a Benny Hill montage of trying to get your axe back in the hotel, which is very funny.
Yeah, I would like to have my axe, if at all possible. If this isn't going to be like, oops, lost my character sheet doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worry. This thing is not balanced for one character, and if you fail this roll, you'll just die, which is not great. So I would rather say that for flavor, you try to get it back, and then eventually you give up. Because trying to do it for real is a very real chance of us saying goodbye to Vindross.
Oh, yeah, I might have given this a try if I'd had my character built up with, whatever that spell is that gives you a +10 to stealth. That's a pretty good walk in the park, I'll probably be fine, but... not taking that risk. I like Vindrass.
So Vindross, after you spend some time trying to sneak through the hotel to see if you can get your axe back, and you realize that, in fact, not only the animal on the 5th floor, but also the titanium elemental on the 4th floor will be lethal encounters, I think you give up and leave the building again dejected. At which point, can you roll perception for me?
It's trying to roll. 10.
Uh-oh.
You see a burst of carrion birds, like vultures and so forth, like not staples, Aarakocra, like actual birds, fly up from where you left the bodies of the dead halflings as if surprised by something.
Can I cautiously, stealthily approach?
Absolutely, yeah, roll me a stealth.
Come on, would have really loved that bonus. 14 on stealth.
Yep, 14's good. So I think you crouch down and make your way back over to the recreation area of the resort. I think you kind of have the resort to yourself now because, Sven's playing with the rat hog. The Mephits are all in a crab coma. All the players have gone into the shard. It's now Nifix, and I said Nifix, yikes. Now Vindross has the entire resort to herself. She's just kind of vibing. And you kind of, stealthily make your way over to the recreation area. And you see... on the tennis court where you did, you and Lola and Corton and so forth all did surgery to remove the crystals from these halflings that you then took prisoner, essentially.
Yeah.
Those crystals are gone, and all that's left is blood stains.
Okay. That's not ideal.
Yeah.
So where did we left the prisoners on the boat, right?
Correct, yeah. That would be Worry, Regret, and Dr. Smooth, aka Covetousness, are tied up on the Thriller bark with Lola's animals.
Yeah. Because my number one concern right now is, can something else pick these crystals up and oops, now I'm infected with crystals?
That's a good question.
Could there be a different crystal-imbued something out there now?
Yep. A great worry to have.
Yeah. You said there was blood on the floor. Can I guess it'd be survival to try and, probably foolish idea, follow the blood tracks if there are any? Yeah,
I would love that. Please roll survival to follow the blood tracks.
Yeah, that's probably a terrible idea, but we're doing it. 15 to follow those blood tracks.
15 works perfectly. So here's basically what happens. With Vindross, you have to leave the party behind because your serum ran out. You spend some time hanging out in the resort. You go see if you can get your axe. You give up. You're walking along. You notice that the crystals, the pink salt crystals you pulled out of the halflings, have disappeared, which is alarming. You see that there's blood stains from the surgery you performed, and you see some tracks in it. Very irregular tracks, not like footprints from a human or even an insect like yourself. Very strangely shaped footprints. Like even the separate feet look different from each other. It's very strange to you. The 15.
One of the legs is a crystal leg. I'm not ready. It's gonna kick me with a crystal.
Yeah, I mean, you rolled a 15 and then you said it out loud. So I'll say that's actually not untrue. It kind of looks basically as if these crystals formed together into like a pink salt golem and just walked away.
Wow.
And you begin following some of these bloody footprints, and it goes over to the gift shop where Sven is. In that direction, what do you do?
Oh, I'm gonna try and get its attention and lure it away from the gift shop.
Okay, so tell me how you do that, because you can absolutely do that.
I kind of wanna cast off a guiding bolt. Maybe even less, not even necessarily to do the damage of it, just to try and be like, hey, over here, pay attention. There's a big flashing thing. Look where that came from. I'm over here.
Well, I mean, we were using a Disney resort map, so it only feels natural that you would shoot up a bolt that explodes in the sky like a Disney firework.
Okay, yeah, of course, that's what I'm doing.
Does it make the symbol that you all got tattooed, which is like a broken ship on a hexagon?
Oh, of course it does. I mean, look, if Vindross has been working on her art for this long, she's going to at the very least attempt to make a functioning firework mural in the sky.
Yeah. Vindross is really coming into her own as an artist. She's trying a lot of different media. She's got paint, she's got sculpture, she's got firework. But basically what I was saying was that you see these steps, these bloody footprints from the golem going in the direction of the gift shop, but you don't actually see it yet. But you know it's like going that direction, and so you shoot up a guiding bolt to try to draw it towards you. And then because you got, I think, a 14 on your stealth, you can like crouch down behind something if you want. Do you want to just stand out and be like, come at me, bro? Or do you kind of want to set a trap?
I think Vindross is going to be just come at me. I think her chief concern is make sure this thing definitely comes over here and does not go where the kid is.
Okay, perfect. So you just stand out in the middle of the thoroughfare here, just like I can't remember. In Disney, there's like the Main Street. I think it might just be called Main Street USA, where you're just like standing out there where people would come into the resort, and you're just all four arms wide, so to make yourself as visible as possible. And eventually, you see a pink salt golem, kind of dragging itself up the street very slowly. I say dragging itself because it doesn't have a very sturdy structure. It's clearly made out of like bloody salt crystal. But it was pulled together through like force of will, not carefully sculpted by like a gifted artificer, which is normally how golems are made. But this does have the distinct physical features of one God King Wolfram.
Huh.
I think, Vindross, you've only ever seen him once in person in episode 1 when he was watching your gladiatorial execution. He has this kind of strange duality where he both looks like a young, like cool anime guy and also like an old Henry VIII style, like indulgent king person. So he either looks like he's old but has like a great plastic surgeon, or young and been through a bunch, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that does not sound like the kind of face you would forget, particularly when it was, happy you were gonna die.
But it's like crudely carved into this pink salt golem, and he's kind of trudging up the street in the direction of the firework. But it's like the facial expression has been formed from this thing, but it's not a great recreation, and it's coming towards you.
I want to attempt to detect thoughts, see if this thing is thinking.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, you use your psionics to make telepathic connections with it. I think you actually need to roll perception because, I'll explain to you depending on how you roll how this comes across.
Okay. 22.
Holy shit. Yeah. I'll give you this exactly how it's happening, which is because the pink crystal is full of the potential of people he's stolen it from, there's actually a lot of stray thoughts here. It's like everyone who's fallen asleep on the salt thinking at once.
Oh.
So there's all this noise. But with a 22, I will say, though, that this particular part of it is directly animated by the God King. So imagine him sitting in his throne room right now in the castle. He feels you all remove the salt from the halflings, right? Because he can feel when you touch the salt.
Yeah.
So you all pulled it out of the halflings, and he was like, "That was weird. I felt a disturbance in my force," and so he pulled it all together to kind of look around. Right. So right now he's telepathically connected and piloting this thing to see what happened to his halflings. But because his potential is literally stolen from thousands and thousands of people, maybe millions, you don't know how long he's been doing this, his control is mixed in with all the thoughts of all these lost souls. So it's kind of terrifying. You're like looking into your mind is making contact with a swirling vortex of just innumerable dead puppeted by the God King.
I feel like I should destroy this thing ASAP, because it seems like a bad idea to give him long enough to work out how to wrestle control away from all of the other things trying to control this salt.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has control. That's literally, so people often get confused that like some way his conduit has to do with salt. No, like that's just, he's a salt genasi. He controls salt. His conduit is specifically the potential part, and that's what he's god of. The salt, it just like if he was a fire genasi, he would use fire to puppet potential. If he was an ice genasi, he would use ice. It just happens to be salt. The potential is what he's god of, and he has it in his iron fist.
Wow. Regardless, I don't like the fact that he can currently see what we're doing. That seems like a bad plan.
Yeah, I mean, you're standing in the middle of the street, arms wide. I think you obviously have your moth shield, which is very, very cool. But he slumps towards you, sees you, and kind of comes to a stop, a couple yards away. Like there's an amount of distance here where you're like staring each other down like an Old West high noon showdown. But he doesn't have a weapon.
Well, hopefully that means not too difficult to fight. I summon my spiritual weapon.
Nice. Okay, Vindross, you summoned the ghost of the axe baloney. The golem regards you, kind of tilts its head like a dog as it sees that, and the golem opens its mouth, and a voice issues from it. This golem doesn't have a tongue, so it's not actually talking. It's just the God King projecting through it. And he says, "Huh, an insect with magic, like a dancing bear."
Okay, before anything else can be said, Vindross is
Do it.
is getting into attack.
Yeah, swing on him.
22, does that hit?
Hell yeah, you just bury this spiritual axe right into him, and also because it's magic, you bypass what would have been a resistance to the bludgeoning damage of the actual axe baloney.
Hooray! I've accidentally improved my axe baloney. In death, it is more powerful than it was in life.
That's very metal.
9 damage.
Yeah, nothing to be embarrassed about. You slam the axe into the golem's chest, and it takes a couple steps back. There's a huge gash in him, like across his chest area now, and he's still like looking at you curiously and says, "Huh, were you the one who killed my halflings?"
I killed some halflings who were trying to kill me. Goodness knows if they were yours.
Everything in this country is mine. 7, I rolled an attack. So basically what happens is, without raising a hand, he channels his potential through just salt dust in the air and on the ground, and forms a pink crystal spear from like just the atmospheric salt in the area, and it just lunges at you, Vindross, and you just easily, I rolled a 7, you turn and shatter it with your shield like swatting a fly.
Turns out one of us is better than the other at conjuring weapons, it seems.
I never thought I'd meet one like you.
I mean, you've not really met me. From what I can tell, you are considerably away from here, but... Hi, I'm gonna kick your ass.
What makes you so special?
I don't know. What makes you so special?
Oh.
Simple. I am a king.
I didn't vote for it.
Lauren, come on.
I'm sorry. I tried to keep it in.
The Lady of the Lake, her arm clad in the
That was
purest
his violence
shimmering
inherent in the
samite, held aloft Excalibur from the bosom of the water. Sorry.
Yeah. He says, if you don't say anything back, Vindross, or attack again, do you do either?
Oh, I attack again.
Vindross is angry.
Just because this guy's a dick.
He really is.
24.
Holy shit, yeah.
Why is it now that I'm suddenly able to hit things?
Yeah, all of you are in there talking to Denise about a science project. She's soloing the final boss out here.
Yeah, no one's going to believe me. I'll go back to the rest of the party and be like, I beat God King Wolfram, I did it. 9 damage again.
Nice, yeah. So you've done 18 damage. I think you bring the axe baloney down on, try to, at his head, basically, where his features actually resemble the God King, and he throws an arm up to block it, and you just shatter his entire arm.
You say you're king, but no king's reign ever lasts forever.
If only you knew how right you were. This is what keeps me up at night, little bug.
That is so rude.
It is so rude. Rude enough, I might have to just keep smashing this thing's face in.
Well, it's his turn now. As you say that, Laura, I rolled a 13, which is not even close. I think he does this.
That's not gonna do it.
I think this is like under you, the ground erupts as like pink spears shoot out of it. Just like, like a pit in Mario, like with the spikes. Yeah. But it's like
Vindross just leaps up out the way of it as if it's nothing.
Yeah.
Just springboards out the way.
Yeah, so you easily leap over just this pit of pink spikes that appears under you, just like shreds through the ground. And he just regards you, his one-armed golem, and he says, when I came to this land, searching for a place to match my birth, I found it ruled by these halflings, indolent as they were, sleeping on the ground, smoking their days away. But yet, you insect folk were lesser even then. And when I became a conduit and took the halflings' potential and made them animals in my realm, you continued to be lesser. Is it perhaps in your nature to be subservient?
Oh, cut his dick off.
Is it perhaps in your nature to be an asshole? Take another swing. 23.
Holy shit, Vindross. He's not going to lay a hand on you.
Yeah, he's not, is he? So that's 14 damage. That is the most that my spiritual weapon will do.
Oh my lord. Okay, so, that's to paint me the picture of you destroying this salt golem before it even messes up your fit. It does not even scuff your jean jacket or whatever you took from the Hot Topic.
So I think the way this is styled out is that Vindross, as she says that last line, just sort of walks up and looks him straight in the face. Maybe before he even notices it's happened, swings the ghost of the axe baloney around. So it just sort of smacks right into the side of him while he's too focused on Vindross to notice. He just starts to shatter.
Okay, so you basically do a home run swing through center mass and explode it.
Yes.
So yeah, you try to scatter the golem to the wind, basically. But even as the pieces, the bigger ones fall to the ground and the smaller ones are kind of carried away by the wind, God King Wolfram's voice still comes from the disembodied particles, and he says, "And what would you do if you were king? Insect? You think it's easy?"
I don't think it's easy, but I think saying it's difficult is a really easy cop-out for a lot of the bullshit you're gonna do.
I think as the voice fades away with the wind carrying the particles, the God King chuckles to himself a little bit and just says, "Perhaps you're right, but a king does not have to listen. take the crown for yourself, and you will know this.
Well, maybe I just might.
Hey, Vindross.
Yeah.
The God King knows where you are, bud.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that is a problem. That is definitely a problem. That's not ideal.
Clear.
What up?
Claire and Amy have made it down to a layer of the world, which is just metal going off as far as the world, as far as the eye can see in every direction. It seems impenetrable. You found some patches of pink crystal where your father tried to get through as well, seemingly without success, and now you're following this kind of trail of his past efforts as you make your way across this landscape. Amy's been begging you to rest, and you keep telling her no. Here, how do we open this scene?
Fucking looking around. I'm not stopping.
All right, so you stay determined, as of course you would. When Amy says, "Claire, can I have my knife back? It's been, days maybe. I haven't slept. I'm so tired."
It's all the more reason that you shouldn't have it.
What do you mean? Please, it's my knife.
We can get it back when everything's done. Until then, we need to finish this.
Claire, she falls to a knee behind you.
I'm not turning around.
Oh my god. As she looks after you as you keep walking, and then you hear her weakly behind you say, "Claire,
What?
Claire,
Get up!
I hear something whispering. It's chasing me. Please, I need my knife."
Just ignore the whispering.
I don't think we should be going into the other world. I think something is following us. I think we fucked up.
If that's the only way to become a conduit, then that's where we need to go. Well, that's where I need to go. You don't have to go any further. You can go back home if you want. Although, you're wanted there, so I don't really know if you have quite a safe place to go.
Okay, so she begs for her knife, tells you that she's also hearing whispering, accusing and chasing her, and you dismiss her and keep walking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a while there where she's just laying on the ground, seemingly being...
If she's laying on the ground and I'm trying to go, I'm going to go and try to pick her up.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Do you want a strength check to literally lift her? You're 10.
Yeah, so it's not high, but I got a 1. Does that do it?
Oh.
Absolutely not. No.
Huh.
I think you can't even get her to her feet, let alone up off the ground.
Come on.
So you struggle to try to get her to her feet, fail, and then just start begging her to continue. And then she just begins blinking rapidly in and out of this plane. Something's happening.
God fucking damn it. All right, I'm going to cast Blink.
Oh God, the thing she just told you not to do?
Yeah, we got to fucking kill it. Whatever's in there, just get rid of it.
Oh dear. Oh, Chris.
Oh,
That's a spicy meatball.
Chris, we love you, Chris.
Okay. I didn't think that was going to happen. Claire, you enter the gray, and you see all around Amy are the ghosts of people she's killed, tormenting her. And you see the ghost of her mother, who's currently overlapping with her body, possessing her, trying to fight these things back.
Can I run into it and activate my sword and just cut the heads off of all of them?
Yeah, you want to roll initiative on some ghosts?
Yeah, let's do it. Biatch.
Okay.
The biatch are the ghosts, not you, just to be clear.
Well, that's pretty cool.
5. So I need to start rolling more than 2s on things, but I think after that, we're going to be solid.
So I actually got a 6, which is only one better than 5, but that's all that matters.
Still better, yeah.
So here's the scene. Claire, you were standing on this metal landscape, and your sister can't go on anymore. She begins blinking in and out of the gray, the land of the dead, over and over and over. Something's happening. Her connection to her mother is what has precipitated all of this. You blink over there and you see that she is surrounded by the ghosts of mostly the Aethar, like these robotic frogs that make up the bulk of their forces. Some are just like more like clockwork robots, and some are just regular humanoid frogs. Basically all these troops she killed in this last battle. And there are these ghostly shades, like these dark shapes of these dead soldiers, and they're like menacing her, whispering the dark deeds she's done and tormenting her. And her mother's standing over her mother's shade. Her ghost is like standing over her daughter, trying to fight them back. And you just ignite your ice sword and jump in.
Yeah.
First, it's Ghost's turn. Constitution saving throw to run through them. The main danger is like just the soul chill of coming into contact with ghosts.
21.
That succeeds, so you take 5, half of the necrotic damage from the ghostly touch of these shades. It's your turn.
All right. I am going to cast a spell. I will cast Snylock Snowball Swarm in the area, sending a wave of snowballs to hit all these ghosts. So they need to make me dexterity saving throws.
The name of that spell absolutely tickles me.
Snylock Snowball Storm.
Snylock 100% sounds like the wizard you would invent if you were making up a fake D&D in a sitcom.
18, so the ghosts succeed against that.
All right, they're going to take half damage then. So 5 damage, cold damage to all of them. And I'm going to command Amy to attack.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so the thing...
I'm going to use my royal order.
Yeah, you haven't used this in a while, but your kind of custom royal subclass for sorcerer allows you to give people orders when you cast spells. So I think this is like Amy and her mother, their ghosts like working in tandem, like leap to their feet, or leap is maybe strong, like stagger to their feet in a curtain of like ashen flames around them, like almost like a personal fiery whirlwind. Bad roll, only 7, but this like pushes the ghosts back.
And I'm assuming we're considered friendly, so I give her a bonus to her attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws while she's near me.
One of the robotic frog ghosts kind of looks at you, Clear, and attempts to leap on top of you, like knock you to the ground. 6, that's gonna fail.
It's a miss.
Yeah. All right, what do you do? It's your turn.
I will use... I think I'm just going to use Ray of Frost. Play it safe right now, because kind of low on spells at the moment. So, yeah, I'm going to do a spell attack.
All right.
It's going to be 16.
Hell yeah. So this ghost of this Aethar leaps at you. You jump to the side and you shoot a ray of frost right through its chest, freezing it solid.
Yeah, I'm going to shatter it.
Hell yeah. I mean, this is the gray. So this isn't like isn't a physical realm. This you basically just disincorporate this spirit into the ether of this world.
Pachoo.
Pachoo.
That's the sound it makes when it goes away. Pachoo.
Amy like goes down to reach for her knife, finds that it's not there, and I think actually summons like her big deal spell slot she's been saving, which is Incendiary Cloud. And she says to you, "Clear, run."
All right, I'll take her advice.
And so radiating out from her, like, so as this adventure to the center of the world has continued, Amy has been looking more and more haggard because, I mean, this has been a long, arduous journey, but like her like, smoldering appearance, like we talked before, she has like embers in her hair and she's like a, very kind of has this appearance of like always being slightly burning, has been almost overcome by fire. Her hair is just on fire now. Her skin, like was previously like a half burned cigarette kind of appearance, is now like almost black. And a swirling cloud of smoke and ash just bursts out of her body, which has now basically been completely human torched. And that's 10d8 damage.
She angry.
45. She
Whoa.
fucking roasts a bunch of these ghosts.
Hot dog.
It's a ghost roast.
It is a ghost roast, yeah. But Clear intervening gave her the time to like summon the role-playing energy. Obviously, mechanically, I can just choose to do spells, but Amy personally was just too tired.
Yeah. Once it clears up, I want to run back.
Yeah. You run back and you see Amy is kind of like sprawled out on the ground.
She's Yamcha posed.
Yeah, I actually do get that reference. I haven't even seen that episode. I just pop culture osmosis, huh?
Yep, that's all you need to know.
Yep, she's just on the ground. She's like half conscious.
Are there any ghosts left?
And any who survived that are pulling back. The gray is, is spatially may as well be infinite. There are always things lurking. It'll never be safe, but it's safe enough for now.
All right, I'm gonna toss her a dagger back. If you're out of spell slots, you'll need something to protect yourself with.
Interesting. So you toss the dagger onto the ground near her. She reaches over weakly and grabs onto it. And when she touches it, like fresh fire flows across her fingertips, like rejuvenating her in the kind of the way when you shot the chromatic orb into her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then something very strange happens, Clear, which is you see Amy stand up, strengthened by this, getting her dagger back, like, absorbing some of the latent fire energy inside of it. But there's still an Amy on the ground.
There's two Amy's?
The one on the ground, all like tired out and like spent, looks the same way you do, which is to say in the same dimension as you, like fully tangible, like you can reach down and touch her. The one who stands up with the dagger now is like grayscale, as if back in the material world.
I want to speak to the Amy who's in grayscale, and to say, are you Amy or Amy's mom?
Because people in the gray cannot hear people in the material world and vice versa, Belle Wolfram does not hear you call out to her as she walks away in her daughter's body.
I'm going to look to the body on the ground. Is it alive?
Yeah, Amy's breathing.
Okay. And so the dagger I threw, she took it with her?
Yeah. She like pulled it through and like left you and Amy in the gray. And like the blink ends and you're still here.
Oops.
I'm going to have to go after her then.
So yeah. Amy's mother has officially hijacked her body.
That seems like bad parenting.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Wolfpack, have you decided what Corton is going to become?
Khorton, have you decided what you're gonna become?
I don't know. I've been kicking around a few things. There's some ideas.
Yeah, so Denise Wolfram is extremely ready to take you apart piece by piece and put you back together in a new way. Whenever you're able to explain to the audience what that looks like.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking forearms are good.
That's true.
Oh, like Vindross.
Exactly. It's a good nod there.
Oh, we're gonna be able to hold hands so much.
A little bit of inspiration there. But I also thought, in terms of acrobatic and climbing ability, having claw feet would be really good. Mm-hmm. Sort of like bird-like with the rear claw to get that good grip on. I like the idea of scaled skin, but just starting neck down.
Ooh, like a turtleneck.
Right.
Oh, that sounds really stylish.
And then cat eyes to make sure we get that dark vision, because
this is kind of giving me Thane. Is that the guy from Mass Effect who they like got a bunch of women together and they're like, please make us a sexy alien.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna say Gargoyles, the cartoon.
Oh, that's of course also a sex symbol.
See, I was kind of thinking David Bowie and the man who fell to earth but with 4 arms and claw feet.
Four-armed, scaly David Bowie is also an extreme fucking image.
4 arms, 4 clawed. I can't do it.
Yeah, right?
I was trying to make a Bowie Purple People Eater combo. It didn't work.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking Corton's going to become here.
Okay, so Conrad, you recognize that I'm going to ask you to make me a whole new character sheet, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
This I'm sure Vindross is gonna have an interesting time. This is gonna be wild to come back to. What the fuck did you do while I was calm?
That's why when you took the serum early last episode, I was like, ooh, let's turn this into a plot point where you have to be separated, because then you won't be able to talk Conrad out of the thing I want him to do.
Oh, I don't think Vindrass would try and talk him out of it. It just... She could have been there to know it was happening versus, oh, this is just a fun surprise I get to come back to.
Surprise!
And to be clear, you didn't have to do this. You could all say, like, no and just beat whatever information you want out of her. Or, someone else could have volunteered. I was also thinking Bramwell's, like, there's been a lot of talk about how old you are, and it's like maybe you'd live longer if you underwent some kind of regenerative process. So this was never a foregone conclusion. I just want to be clear about that as well.
Yeah, no, but it plays really well.
I know that Vindrass isn't here in the scene, but I have a question, and I think it's the most important question to ask Conrad about this new character.
Uh-oh.
Will they have a nose?
Oh, no.
Damn right.
Nice.
Yeah, no. I was tempted to take a mouth off too, but no.
Can the character feel?
There's no reason that Conrad has to stick with any of the things that have happened to Corton. This is like complete reset. So he could have a nose, he could have 2 noses, he could feel things extra if he wants. But also it is very interesting to be like, this new species just happens to not have a nose. And like,
yeah.
I guess there is a backstory as to why, although by like next season, no one will know why that the species doesn't have a nose.
Or why it has 4 arms.
Yeah. Oh, we also have to give it a name.
Smorgalbloff.
I don't think it's going to be Smorgalbloff, no.
God damn it. I just made noises and hoped it would work.
Big Chongus.
Big Chongus.
I would think Denise would probably call them denizens.
That is pretty good.
It's
That's
just her kind of ego.
She
Yeah.
would.
That's what a bastard. She sucks and I love her.
God, it's like Villanelle. It's a monster, but God, I love that lady.
Yeah, she's bad. I mean, you all have played Spec Ops: The Line, right? The white phosphorus thing did not go over your head.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing. They breathe white phosphorus.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, you breathe white
I meant to
phosphorus.
include that in the list.
Yeah, I mean, we already established that exists, so, I mean, he can
Does
have it, right?
Corton have the ability to turn that on and off? This new species? Or are you just always doing it?
If that's a thing and not actually just a joke Conrad was making, that would just be a reflavor of the Dragonborn breath weapon, which is already part of D&D 5th edition. So
Yeah,
that's actually very easy to incorporate.
Yeah, I was actually joking about that because that would be a step too far. But
Okay. Yeah, so no breath weapon, but
But laser eyes.
laser eyes, sure, yeah.
Laser eyes!
no. Okay, so this is a humanoid, 4 arms, clawed feet, scaly from the neck down, reptilian scales,
What about gills?
Yeah.
no nose. Do we miss anything?
What voice are you going to give them? Because last time we created a new species that I can remember was the Bozog, and the voice was 100% why everyone loved them. So pressure's on you. What does this new species sound like?
Whatever you want it to sound like. It's gonna spread throughout the world and adopt all forms of dialects and accents. So
I mean, it'll be however Conrad speaks as this character, so we'll find out.
yeah.
Do you change your name? Are you gonna go back to Absinthe and be like, "What up? I'm still Corton," or is it just like a clean break? I don't know.
It's probably gonna be a clean break that only the party knows about.
Oh man, this is so
Ooh,
much.
secrets.
There's so much. This whole path of the joining thing is gonna get so profoundly spicy in like 2 weeks when you get back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be wild.
Okay, so did you all stick around for this? Like Denise is like, all right, come up to the lab and get on the slab, and like,
And see what's on the slab. Okay. I'm gonna. Can I go play with the rat hog, Sven?
yeah,
I don't want to see surgery.
yeah. I mean, it's gross. Denise is a gross person. She basically takes you apart piece by piece and puts you back together with other, half-finished chimera stuff she's been working on.
I guess I want to actually leave, but I probably shouldn't actually leave.
No, you can. I'm just saying, my instinct is like if I was writing this as a novel, would be get into really gross, disgusting detail to try to gross the audience out. But because this is a collaborative thing and there's other people here who have to suffer, I feel like we can just say like, you all leave and give Corton the privacy to have his fucking skin ripped off.
Cool.
Okay. I'm gonna go play with the rat hog then.
Yeah. I think Vindross, you can see when people leave the shard, and you could all regroup and have this conversation about what's happening.
Oh yeah. Hey, he's getting.
Yep. I feel like we've both got big news. Who's gonna go first?
Corton's getting surgery. He's getting experimented on. But like,
And you're not there stopping it?
consensually.
Okay. Okay.
What's your thing?
That's a lot. I was gonna come in with big, high excitement, energy, and feels weird. Wait, what? So what's happening to Gordon?
He's consensually having experiments done to his body. But what's your thing? What's your thing?
Okay. Let me reset. Let me get excited. Okay. I kicked the God King's ass, which is good.
What?
But also he knows where we are, and that's a problem.
Oh god.
Yeah, you know those salt crystals? They turned into the God King, and the God King was talking shit, so I beat his ass. He could not touch me. He was not very good at fighting. He's a little asshole, but the God King knows where we are. And he does not like me, I think.
I mean, does he like anybody other than himself?
I mean, not really, but...
Yeah.
I mean, let's focus on the positives. I did kick the God King's ass. Tried to summon, like, a salt spear, fucking smacked him with a ghost axe baloney. It was great. But he does know where we are.
Well, I feel like that would have been valuable information to have before he went into surgery, but,
Well, it would have been helpful information to know he was going into surgery before he went in for surgery, but we are where we are.
Yeah, that's also true. I didn't expect it. She wanted to take my snout, but I'm not about... I like my snout.
How long is this? How long is this surgery going to take? Because I reiterate, the God King knows where we are, and this is not necessarily a great time for sticking around in one place.
I was gonna go play with Sven and the rat hog, but maybe we should, post up in front of the shard, just in case.
Can you pop in and ask our friend in the shard, how long they're gonna be, / is there anywhere safe we can hide out from the God King around here?
Bramwell, are you part of this conversation?
I imagine Bramwell's playing the snuggle chess, right?
Sure, yeah. So this conversation's happening in the gift shop. You all are playing with Sven, but he's not really listening to your complicated adult talk.
Fair. I would not either.
But yeah, why don't you actually ask him these questions you just posed to yourself? Or I could have him just sign. I could just have him sign to Bramwell. It will take several days for my dad to send people. We're very far from the castle.
Okay.
I'm glad somebody understands geology? No. Geography.
Well, I mean, he might understand geology. He knew the shape of the world.
Look at all my rocks. I'm just gonna dump them out and show him each one individually.
Oh, this is very interesting. So you're showing him these rocks. Lola, you don't know what you just walked into, which is very funny to me. And he signs to Bramwell, Moonstone? ?
It sounds like a stone from the moon. What's a moon?
What's a moon?
Very good question. Bramwell, Sven just signs to you. Sabrina's mom was looking for one, and then goes back to the game.
Oh, and when was that?
He looks up again and just signs when she was here. I don't know.
Do you have a calendar? Do we know what calendars are in this apocalypse?
Bramwell's gonna say, Sven, if there's any more information you might know, we would really appreciate hearing it. The same way we got you a pet to help you out,
Damn.
I am on a mission to help Sabrina find her mother.
Sven signs. Sabrina's mom and my mom got in a fight, and Sabrina's mom left a long time ago.
Well, here's the thing is that since Khorton's helping out Denise, she'll probably tell us about it because we're cool now.
Okay, is this when the doors fly open and Corton walks in?
So Corton just sort of almost shyly walks in the door, like sort of creeping around, like one hand, like one right hand, and then the other right hand, and then just sort of
It's like Bigfoot posing.
leaning around.
Vindross Vindross takes like half a second to take in the fact you now have 4 arms and runs in for a big hug.
Pokey. Poke.
Eases up on the hug slightly. Only slightly.
Some mighty fine looking appendages there.
It's taking some getting used to, that's for sure, but they work.
Oh, don't worry. I will teach you. There's a bunch of children's exercises we do for learning to use the forearms. It's all good. I'll teach you like some juggling or something.
That's so cute.
I can't wait to see Corton's new character sheet because I have no idea, like, not only what bonuses you're going to get for the new species, but also there's nothing to stop you from being like, actually, I'm a barbarian now. Fuck you.
You're right.
Why did you give him?
I mean, I assume he'll have at least one level in Bard because just he's trained so much in it. But there's also, he can easily just say like, yeah, I don't know how to play instruments with these new fingers, so I gave up on that life. I don't know. The world is your oyster. It's terrifying. What have I done?
I'm gonna punch stuff now because I've got so many punch fists.
Yeah, I go. Well, I did the punch season.
That's true.
Oh yeah, it's true. So Denise, after you shyly walk into the room, Denise walks in like that gif of Vince McMahon coming down the ramp.
Oh, does he tear both of his quads?
No, she doesn't do that. But she's just walking in like, huh? It's me. Who is it? It's me. I just ripped a man's skin off and grafted some new arms onto him. Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you. It's so hard to find willing test subjects. You know, I've been asking Sven for years to let me give him a breath weapon, and he won't let me.
Don't give your child a weapon yet.
Vindross turns around to Sven and goes, keep saying no.
Kids his age love breathing fire. Come on.
Nobody loves breathing fire. What if you're trying to eat ice cream and you accidentally breathe the fire on it? If you have like an iced coffee because it's a hot day.
Sven, you'd love wings, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. You want some wings, buddy?
He don't want no wings.
Say no to everything she ever offers.
Can I roll an insight on Sven?
Yeah.
He's the adult here.
24.
Holy shit. So yeah, basically what you intuit from this, Bramwell, is that Denise has been asking to experiment on Sven for years because in her book, she's not a bad person. She definitely wants consent from people to do surgeries on them. So she's like, oh yeah, no, I'm a really good person. I would never do anything unethical. But it's still pretty fucked up to ask a kid to do that, especially one who's desperate for your approval and definitely considers it because at least he get to spend time with his mom who's very busy.
Oh God. I'm glad he has pickle now.
Bramwell will step in and say, actually, Sven was going to go with us to our ship because we had so many other animals there he wanted to see.
Oh. Denise says, animals can be dangerous. I really try to keep him away from the animals.
Oh, no, these are very sweet animals. They've been domesticated.
They're my babies.
Mm-hmm. Baby couldn't hurt anybody. Just think about that sentence. A baby couldn't hurt anybody. Still stupid to even consider it any further.
Besides, there will be this model of physical perfection you've created there to protect him.
I think
Yeah.
when you say physical perfection, she just instinctively like reaches out and like squeezes your like bicep or something.
Oh, she knows what's up.
How are those biceps? Bigger or smaller than before?
He's beefier.
It's not sexual. It's just like someone like touching a
Admiring their
prize
work.
pig.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to squeeze a bicep.
So
It's a good time.
Bramwell, do you want to roll deception? Because it sounds to me, and maybe I'm just thinking of too far ahead, it sounded to me a little bit like you wanted to maybe kidnap this child.
No, I'm trying to get him out of that
You just want-
conversation.
yeah, it's like a petting zoo.
I'm not specifically like I'm gonna steal him onto the ship. This is me just being like, he seems uncomfortable. He doesn't want to do it. The mom's persistent. Bramwell's just gonna step in like a cool grandpa and be like, why don't we go play catch in the yard?
Yeah, you don't need to
Yeah.
roll to just get Sven out of this conversation and have him go pet Stuart the salty pine. But if you did want to like, hide him in the hold and take off with him, you would need to roll something. So if you're just, if it's just if it's just,
But Bramwell is gonna talk to him.
you take Sven out of the scene as Denise continues badgering him to give him flippers.
Oh, flippers.
I'm gonna ask if Sven wants to ride Preposterous.
Oh.
Oh, absolutely.
Pickle could probably fit on Preposterous's head.
Now, you have to be real gentle. Preposterous is getting up there in age.
Oh, he old.
Wow. So the old moose, the old dwarf, and the kid with his little hedge rat are going for a little ride.
Yeah.
So wholesome. Can the rest of the campaign just be that?
It's a Disney movie from here on in.
Anyway, Amy and Clear were stranded in the gray forever. Corton started his new life. It was cool. The end.
That's fine. We get a harmless little OVA one shot about this.
Yeah.
Nice little 40-minute one shot that's just very gentle and sweet.
Okay, so Denise knows everything there is to know in this entire world except for what's at the bottom where Clear and Amy are going. Anything else is pretty much fair game.
What's up with Sabrina's mom? What's the deal there?
Oh, Frida? I haven't seen her in, a couple years. She came up here. She went berserk, started killing people. She ran away.
Any idea why she was killing people?
Because she's literally insane.
Why is she insane?
People think I'm crazy just because I'm way more successful than them. I don't go around killing people, all right? Frida's the insane one.
Oh, y'all fight about it.
I mean, fight is a strong word. I think she felt bad about abandoning her child. The guilt maybe got to her.
Funny you should mention that. We are trying to put that situation into less of a bad situation.
We're trying to find Frida for reasons that don't matter, because you're a friend now.
Well, in our last conversation, she was talking about how she came all the way out here to try to find a safe place for her daughter to live, and I was telling her there's no safe place anymore and that she's forfeited the God King's protection by leaving the castle. So basically she thinks that the God King is the problem and is trying to, take him down, and she was telling me about her boyfriend. It was this whole, she's insane. So...
Well, let's say 1, and 2 hypothetically defeat the God King. I mean, is there anything that they're threatened by?
As far as I know, the God King's only scared of one thing, and he's the only one who knows what it is, so...
Well, you know that they're scared of one thing. You at least know that much, yet you don't know what that thing is.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever... Well, yeah, I saw how you used to look, so I guess you do know about pillow talk. I was about to say you don't really know about pillow talk, hon. But sometimes people say things. They give secrets to people they shouldn't. So me and Belle and some of the other wives, we heard a little bit about, the God King's life. Mm. And he told us some stuff just about things he'd seen. And he once saw a thing he was, afraid of, but...
Where would we go to... Do you have any idea where we would go to find the thing he's scared of?
All right, so you guys worked your way around to it. I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, bud. Denise says, okay, I told the Mephits not even to not let any idiots in. So you guys have to be at least smart enough to get into the shard. So I can skip the part where the old world got destroyed and then it all got put in the big trunk we live in now. Yeah?
It's tube, yeah. Now we're a tube, everything's a tube.
Yes.
It's a big tube, right? And so the old gods, the conduits, they put all the pieces of the world worth saving into the trunk, and they tried to stack them up all nice. But it was imperfect because the conduits, they were just people, and sometimes they messed up a little bit. Things didn't come down all clean, and so there's a little bit of oopsie daisy here and there, like the shard. She gestures back like in the direction of the big shard, and she's like, it fell onto this layer, pierced right through the ground. All the water drained out of this whole ocean that we all live in, the fucking scab of. We're all living in this wound in the ground from this improper stacking. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we knew that. Yep.
fancy.
Checks out. Yep.
So yeah, there's all this stuff stacked up, but apparently when they were doing the stacking, they hid something at the very bottom, and they stacked everything on top to keep people away from it. And my husband, he came from a faraway land to see, and he found the salt, and he was like, I'm a salt genasi, I'm gonna take this place over. But there was these halflings who were here before, and he couldn't defeat them because he wasn't a conduit at the time, and he hid underground, found some tunnels, made his way to the bottom, saw something that scared him so bad, he's still scared of it, but it also inspired him to become a conduit, become a god, and then he came back and took over this place from the halflings. And now it's his.
How does one get to the bottom?
Do we just dig down?
I don't think. Can we just dig down, man? That'd be so wild if we could just dig down. If that's the answer the whole time, oh man.
I mean, Denise says, I wouldn't recommend it. I feel like anyone who tries that is probably extremely going to die. In fact, to circle back around to your question of where Frida went, I mean, I told her about this thing at the bottom of the world, and then she stormed off to try to kill the God King. So, if I had to bet money, I would say Frida is dead somewhere below our feet right now, if I had to guess.
Did she leave anything with you? Any writings or?
It's funny you say that because you have hanging on your back a flamethrower, and Denise just points at it. She says she brought that with her. I kept it, did some experiments with it, but the phosphorus worked out better, so you can keep it.
So theoretically, if one was to try and kill a conduit, let's say perchance the God King, is that even possible?
All that conduit stuff's very overrated. I mean, it's not science, right? It's just magic. It's not real. I mean, it's real, but it's not. She taps Khorton's chest, and she's like, "It's not real in the good way." I think you'd be surprised if you what? Ooh, what's the God King's secret weakness? It's knife.
Oh, really?
He's just a guy, and don't let his looks fool you. He's old. He isn't what he used to be.
Oh, I never would have guessed.
Vindross, you just fought him and you absolutely took his ass apart.
That is a good point. I did just fight him and I did kind of kick his ass. Oh yeah, Corton, I kicked the God King's ass.
Oh yeah, he's
You what? Oh my god, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, he rocked up and he was spouting some bullshit about how oh, you're doing magic, la-di-da, are your people good enough to do that? And I just fucking melted him.
Oh, I wish I could have seen that.
He did not lay a finger on me, and I hit him every time I tried to hit him, and he just sort of crumpled. I assumed that was just because, long distance salt puppet, but apparently maybe he's just a weak...
He's just a man.
Weak son of a bitch.
Just a guy.
He's just a man who sucks.
Denise says, the whole even calling him a conduit thing is I always used to argue with him about this. It's the people who stack the world like this, they're the conduits. The thing you are is not even that. We need a new name for it. It doesn't even work the same way. But he's no, conduit has this cultural understanding. People are still scared of it. We have to keep calling it that. I would call it something else.
What would you call it?
Oh, probably something with my name, just like Denise's, you know?
If you were a DM of a podcast, what would you call it?
Yeah, if you were trying to define some things for me that I would make some very important decisions based on, how would you define that?
Clear.
Yeah, what up, Bog?
So Belle Wolfram takes Amy's body.
Yeah, that's no bueno. I gotta go after her.
And I think she casts like dispel magic on your blink, stranding you in the gray.
Hey, dog, what's up with that? Gotta go after her.
I know that's not normally how it works, but that's essentially what has happened here. You and Amy, who Amy can like barely stand. Do you leave her?
She'll be fine. We're scared the ghosts away.
Okay. Claire,
Oh my god.
Claire, you begin chasing after Belle Wolfram, who is making her way across the metal. And you can reach out and touch her. Your hand will just go through her because you're on different planes. What do you do to get?
I gotta figure this out. I gotta suss this out. I want to try an Arcana check.
Absolutely.
16.
16 is very good. I will say that you understand, especially because of the ghosts that you just fought, that the difference between you and the difference between where you are and where she is life and death. So obviously, if you killed her, she would go to where you are. The question is how would you get over to her?
I gotta unkill myself.
Oh yeah.
Huh. How do I unkill myself? Is that a medicine check?
I mean,
Do you have any healing spells?
So I know I need to. So, like, if I die, you go to the gray. And I need to do basically kind of like the inverse.
That's what you think.
Now, how positive am I on that?
I would say if you weren't, you would be much more hesitant if you hadn't undergone such rigorous training. I think you were at a place mentally where you are in like fuck it mode.
All right. Well, I will walk over to where Amy is. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to YOLO it. I'm going to take my dagger and stab myself in the heart. I don't know. I got to do the inverse. I got to unlight.
Well, that's a great ending.
So, Claire, walk me through this.
I'm going to be like, all right, well, she's there. I need to be there because that's how we get down to the next level. So she's going to be like, this is such a fucking annoying, like, she is constantly beleaguered and annoyed with how much of an extra strain her sister is placing on her at every step of the way. But she needs to get down that next level, so she's going to walk over and she's just going to say, I really hope this works.
And so you summon the ice sword on your dagger, and then you put the clear blade through your heart.
Yeah, I'm gonna like have like a foot on Amy's shoulder, and just be like, hopefully if this works, we both go back. But if not, good luck.
Oh.
And you ram the blade into your own chest. You collapse on the ground, gushing blood as you die.
Okay, cool.
And as the blood leaves your body and the oxygen ceases reaching your brain, you begin suffering brain damage, which is what happens when you die. Most notably, your short-term memory, which is badly damaged up front. You forget exactly how you got here, exactly the inciting incident, the factors that would allow you to recreate this. This is very common. In fact, this is a necessary process, the loss of these memories for what is happening. So you have become so determined. You have created a powerful connection with determination itself, the Platonic form. And so as your spirit tries to separate from your body, it is forced back in by this raw determination. Denise said that conduit wasn't accurate, a term for what is happening, for the powers that people have in this world. The term I've been using internally is martyr. The concept of the dying and rising God is a very common religious motif. Jesus Christ, probably the most famous. Osiris is another common in Egyptian mythology, who died and came back. It's a whole thing.
They cut his.
Yeah?
Isis has sex with his disembodied dick.
Yeah.
That's how we get Horus.
Zoroastrianism also features this. It's a very common way to consecrate divinity. And so to become a martyr, one must believe in something so much that it kills you. Duke Pendergrass was close. He understood that you had to devote yourself to something, but he was short-sighted. What happened to him was he was so devoted to compromise that he would join negotiations for very fraught treaties, for terrible conflicts and bloody wars, and try to negotiate some kind of armistice, which unfortunately, in the moment, led to someone who didn't like one of his compromises poisoning him to death. But when he died and his spirit tried to leave his body, the force of his connection with compromise itself forced his spirit back into his body. The moths, staying up all night, studying, cramming for medical school, taking experimental chemicals, basically ye old Red Bulls, to stay up studying all night, gave themselves heart attacks.
I know that.
You don't know what happened to God King Wolfram. But Clear, you are so fucking determined to get to the bottom of the world and to kill your father that your spirit is forced back into your body with only the minor brain damage of your recent memories keeping you from telling everybody how this happened so they can recreate it. You have become the martyr of determination.
Dope. Now, can I blink back out?
Well, Chris, you have gained 7 levels. So you tell me what the fuck you do.
So
No, I mean, that's the end.
well, no, hold on. I kind of have an idea for maybe something to do.
Yeah.
I want to blink out and it spell in Amy's body, like going towards the hole. And I have short-term memory loss. So I want Clear to just be like, oh, cool, Amy, you found the door down.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God, no. Oh, no.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, man, I was like, a cool boss fight to get her body back to save your sister. And you're like, actually, tragedy as she is left behind.
Well, you said short-term memory loss. That's
just so everybody can't commit suicide to get powers. You're at level 13, you asshole.